Hello everyone, Gregory here again. Now, I'm sure you remember my how the CGI era handled Gordon. Well, I'm gonna do another video on how this time on how the model era and the CGI era handled Donald and Douglas. Yes, I'm covering the Scottish twins this time, since they're my favorite twin characters. Now, without further ado, let's head into the model era. Donald and Douglas made their grand debut in the episode with the same name, or Break Van, as they call it. In the episode, Donald and Douglas had to deal with a spiteful brake van, and Donald accidentally crashes into a signal box while Douglas destroys the brake van. And in the second episode, they both end up staying after a debutation. Then they had 2 episodes where they were on their own. Donald had Donald stuck and Douglas had escape. But then when we got to season 4 and 5, while Douglas did appear with Donald in season 4, Donald appeared on his own in season 5. But for their reappearance in season 6, they made an episode called Twin Trouble. And honestly, I do not care for that episode at all. I mean, it's not bad or anything. I just don't like how the twins were handled. Honestly, they should have made that a Bill and Ben episode. But hey, A Bad Day at Castle Lock and Gordon and the Engineer are pretty better. Then after season 12, they were absent for a while. That is until Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. Speaking of that, now that we covered the model era, let's cover the CGI era. Okay, so when they were reintroduced, and when they got their own spotlight episode, Love Me Tender, it's focused about the twins having a heated argument and Douglas's tender coupling break, causing him to fall out with Donald. And Donald doesn't realize until now, and drops everything to go help Douglas. The two reunite and make up with each other. Love Me Tender is a great episode. That scene where Donald and Douglas reunite was really wholesome. It made me tear up with happiness. That's why I consider Love Me Tender wonderful. It's a wonderful episode. However, the same cannot be said for Emily in the Middle, because Donald and Douglas argue for the whole episode. That's what they do now. Argue. At least in Love Me Tender, they didn't argue for the whole episode, because Donald dropped everything to go help his brother. Like I said, that's what makes Love Me Tender wonderful. But it doesn't work in Emily in the Middle, because we already had a Winter episode and a Donald and Douglas episode. I prefer Love Me Tender over Emily in the Middle. Then after that, they never had a spotlight episode again. They just made cameos. But then, after the Big World Big Adventures movie, they were wiped out and were never seen again. Yeah. That was a pretty bad way to end their arc, if you can even call it an arc. They began with a wonderful introduction and ended with a horrible conclusion. As a YouTuber ranking every Thomas episode would say, how to conclude both twins' appearances on an awful note. And that was how the two eras handled Donald and Douglas. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my other videos. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.